when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm going to just kind of confess, a number of years ago when the NBA went to the one and done rule, I actually thought it was a good idea. You know, let the guys go to college for a year before going to the NBA. It's a classic restraint of trade, by the way. But my feeling was that so many of these guys going to the NBA, they're not prepared for it. And that maybe what we need to do is have them go to college for a year. Then they find out actually they shouldn't even try to enter the draft. What I didn't know was, you know, whenever there's kind of one rule made, there's counteractions. It's one of those physics things, you know, there's a force over here, there's another force over there. One college coach said to me, we're talking about the one and done rule. He said, you know, Terry, after about January 10th, they stop going to class if they know they're going to the draft. He says they go the first semester, get some sort of grade, so they're eligible for the second semester, but if they know they're going directly into the NBA draft, they stop going to class. And he says, so it really is a farce. And then the second thing I was thinking about, the one and done rule, how many players does it really apply to? 10? 15? I mean, shoot, they only draft 60 players total in the NBA, 30 in each round, 2 rounds. So given all the recent scandals now about Arizona, a player reportedly maybe getting $100,000 to go there, and of course there's a lot of others, you know, that was a player that would have gone directly to the NBA. I look at the one and done rule. You see the kind of the chaos it has created. Stan Van Gundy, coach of the Detroit Pistons, previously been a college coach for I think 8 years at different places. He said, why doesn't anybody complain when a high school kid signs a baseball contract and goes to the minor leagues at 18? What's the difference? Or, you know, an 18-year-old could try to go pro golf, pro bowling, whatever you want to think about. And that's quite true. So why, you know, what makes basketball different? Now, by the way, football has all kinds of different rules because football wants to keep the colleges as their minor league system. And in some ways, the NBA was trying to do that with the one and done rule. Because remember when LeBron-James came out, think about that. When LeBron-James came out, he went directly to the NBA because there was no one and done rule. Would it really have mattered if LeBron had gone a year of college or not? You know, I remember seeing Kevin-Garnett when he came out. He was one of the earlier ones to skip out of, just basically skip college altogether. And I looked at him as a young kid and I thought, boy, he would be better off in college. And he would have maybe for a year or two, but by the time he's 20, he was playing terrific. And I think here's the other thing about the one and done rule. See, teams like it because it allows them to have another year to scout the guys on, you know, playing at Kentucky or playing somewhere else versus in high school. But frankly, that's on them. They want to draft an 18-year-old who's probably immature or whatever. That's their risk they're taking. But one and done, it's time for it to go.